what's up, guys? It's Clint. I am back, and this time, I'm not doing a movie review. This time, I'm not over on small screen. This time, I'm not on the Black Shirt podcast. This time, I'm doing a thing called Versus. But I'm not doing a Versus review where I put up two movies. I'm doing Versus Live, where we're going to talk about all kinds of movie stuff, TV shows, food, whatever stupid stuff that we want to talk about. We're going to talk about it and maybe argue about it a little bit. But we wrote a list and we're going to go through it. So instead of just having me blab in your face, let's get the other guys in here. All righty? All right. What's up, gang? How you doing?
Doing great.
Curtis, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well.
And
Thank you for inviting me.
You got all the Bakers.
You notice we got Clint Baker, we got Curtis Baker, and we got Dustin Baker. Woo! And my friend Chris Baker that was going to be in here, he couldn't make it. So we're just going to have a little silhouette there for a while. And you know, if we got a friend that wants to join us, private message me and I'll send you a link. We can drop you right in the show. So all right, so you're doing good. Where are you coming from, Curtis?
I'm in Houston now.
Houston.
Lived in Austin forever, but in Houston now.
All right. How about you, Dustin? Where are you?
I'm in Georgetown, but I was born in Houston.
You're supposed to like jump into my frame and be like, I'm right over here. Oh, there he is.
It's like the old Bob and Doug McKenzie, like Great White North Christmas album. I'm in one ear and I'm in the other.
Man, I just looked at myself. I'm like green.
You're like Sepatone.
Yeah, what's up?
I thought you do that on purpose, like you're trying to be all vintage.
No, I'm not.
You're one of those.
We're gonna fix that real quick because
lomography, like a hipster's camera.
I am.
And you got me all shiny, Clint.
Yeah,
Thanks, gonna bypass it. Dustin said Sepatone.
Yeah.
Green's not good enough.
I am a little bit colorblind.
That's the elitist way of saying it.
Sepatone.
Or Sepatone.
Yeah. There we go. I'm a little bit colorblind, so like if I could be green and I wouldn't even know it. Super weird. Let's get this tint down. There we go. Now I look like a human being.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Looking good.
Well, before we get started, guys, if you could do us a favor, like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell. If you want to help out the channel, take a second to share this with your friends on social media and click the notification bell so we can let you know about future videos and live streams. Yes, sir. And hopefully we have a good time doing this and we'll do a bunch more. So, yeah. So you guys ready to get into it?
Let's do it.
All right.
All right.
Let's dig in. All right, and we're picking a bunch of different topics, and we're just going to give our opinions and just bullshit about stuff and have fun talking. And you know, if we go off on a rant or something, if we don't get through the whole list, it's all good. We're just here for fun. And guys, when we introduce these topics, feel free to discuss or argue, but be nice in the chat and let us know what you think. And before we move on to the next topic, we'll of course go through the chat and catch your opinions.
And maybe they'll have like a sidebar. You know what I mean? Like maybe we'll bring up a versus, but they'll be like, Psh, versus that. But what about this?
Yeah, that's cool too. Like we're just trying to have fun conversation. We all like movies and talk. We all talk too much. So let's dig in. All right, Arnold versus Sylvester. That's not Arnold from Different Strokes. That's Arnold Schwarzenegger versus Sylvester Stallone. Oh man, now this could go a lot of ways. Are we talking about a street fight? Are we talking about whose movies are better? Are we talking about who's more awesome? You know, what do you guys think?
I don't think Sylvester knows the secret of steel.
No.
Yeah.
I love to hear the lamentation and your enemies driven before you, to hear the lamentation of the women.
No.
I'm going to say we're probably all three Arnold all day, but I'll defend Sylvester if I have to.
I started to think that, and then I started thinking about Rocky, and then I was like, I don't know, man. You know, and Cobra's pretty badass, and Rambo, of course, is badass.
First Rambo,
but yeah, but I mean, holy crap, just Rocky alone is enough to maybe take the cake for me. I'm a huge Rocky fan. I love Rocky. So
hey, take the cake,
you
right?
know?
Hey, you got to go for it.
Sly Sly, like talent wise, and like I mean, because he's a writer, director, producer,
Yeah.
actor. Like I mean, he wrote Rocky.
Yeah.
I mean, he basically stole that other guy's life. Did you ever see the real Rocky?
Yeah, totally.
He
Yeah.
stole some other guy's life,
Yeah.
but he did write a movie around it. And he what did he direct? No, he wrote Saturday Night Fever and
Yeah.
Staying Alive and all this. Like
He wrote that?
Saturday Night
Yes.
Fever. Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's
yeah, I'm
crazy.
pretty sure. And I believe Frank Stallone has a couple songs in there.
He does.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So like all around, like, but it's just like you can't beat Arnie, man. Like you can't. Like,
He's so good, and he's so. If you think about the bodybuilding days and what a achiever he is, and him as a governor, you know, he did just as good a job as anybody else with that state, for sure.
Yeah, he's a guy. He becomes a governor.
Total recall.
He becomes-
I mean, he's like pretty. The way he did it was pretty.
the
pimp.
Governator.
Yeah, the governor.
One thing I like is that they both hated each other, and now they're like best friends. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think that's
Right.
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It was this competitive rivalry that just became like, a really strong friendship.
So I wonder who's richer, who has more money. Somebody at home, Google who has more money.
It's got to be, well,
I don't know.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Dude, you know what? What's that movie with Will Smith where he's like,
I Am Legend?
I Am Legend. Arnold Schwarzenegger was supposed to star in the original not the original Charlton Heston, but the second iteration. I actually watched this. I went down a rabbit hole of it. He had the script and they optioned the script for the I Am Legend, and he had that heart surgery right before that, and he had like a bunch of like, Hollywood was slowly like icing him out of the picture, like no pun intended for like Batman, his appearance in Batman, but they started slowly like,
That's one of my favorites.
it's like Dio has rocked for a long, long time, but now it's time to pass the torch. They tried to like, try to like get him out of the picture, but he like came back,
Apparently,
the lean years.
apparently Dave Riddlin in the chat says that he didn't write Saturday Night Fever. He directed Staying Alive.
Oh,
He didn't write it.
Thank you. That's-
yeah. Thanks for fact checking us on that. Well,
Thanks,
what do you got
Dave.
to say about Frank Stallone, Dave?
Yeah. I mean, that's the real story here.
Yeah.
Ooh, take it back.
Yeah, let's look in the chat real quick.
Take me back.
That's a Frank Stallone film.
I would love to like have a group of friends where we just stood around like a oil drum and like burned stuff and like sang. That would be
Like the old days. I mean,
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
We got Prod Hobby MP says, greetings from Kiri Copito is Gamer Boy.
All right.
All right. We got Phil Davis.
That's my favorite.
Is this
sentence.
live or is it Memorex? You know what's really funny?
Memorex.
Eddie Murphy Raw. Eddie Murphy Raw is real funny.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy. Thanks. Eddie Murphy Raw is funny. Let's see here. And Arnold was the governor, says Phil Davis. And Arnold has to be. He was. Yeah, I wonder who has more money though. That's what I wonder. Like they got to be pretty close.
When I watch like action movies now, like they're different now. We'll admit that, but like it's just like the crazy fun action movies. It's like that guy. I'll be like, they couldn't do that. They couldn't do that. Like that's so stupid.
Yeah.
Why would they even show that? They couldn't do that. I mean, Arnold could do that, but they couldn't do that.
Right.
Right. Like he embodied all the crazy.
And guys,
he was like a superhero before there were superheroes.
And what if we take, because it is a hard one. What if we take it movie by movie? Okay, Cobra versus say like Commando, or Cobra versus Red Heat. Red Heat was a good one too.
Yeah, but
so he's kind of a cop in Red Heat, right?
in Red Heat, he's that. Well, you're thinking Raw Deal.
Raw Deal.
Red Heat, he's the Russian. He's the Russian ambassador or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, and Raw Deal, he's a cop, and they're trying to kill him.
So who would win, John Rambo or him in Commando, if they had to fight each other?
I don't even the weird thing that I never sat right, even at like 9 years old. I think I was 9 when I saw Commando. Is they never say what kind of commando he was. I mean, at least you know John Rambo was like a Green Beret.
But we all know Arnold eats Green Berets for breakfast.
Yeah, he eats Green Berets for breakfast. Yeah. Hey, Rambo doesn't have his own iPhone 10 phone case cover, so I guess. But Cobra's pretty awesome when he comes in with the match in his mouth, and he's got the 1911 with the Cobra grips.
I'm laughing because Dave wrote Frank Stallone is the poor man's Mark Johnson. And I don't know what that means.
I don't even know what that means.
It's just funny. Poor Mark's
Frank
not on here to
Stallone
defend
is the
himself.
poor man's Dave Esposito.
How is Jark Monson?
Dude,
I haven't seen
Jark Monson.
I haven't seen him in a while.
He emailed me back because I'm a realtor, and automated emails are sent out, and I had a St. Jude's Children's Hospital one that sent out automatically. He was like, dude, you're still trying to get $5 out of me? Like, you like, you like, you know, all these years later, you're still trying to get $5 out of me? And I was like, oh, man.
Oh, that's a good one. Good,
yeah,
good zing.
I'm going to give it to the kids.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, we got to say hi to Olivia, who's watching right now. Hi, Olivia.
Hello, Olivia.
Yeah, she's actually watching with Dave right now. So,
hello.
Yeah, good. Thank you for watching.
I'm sorry about that, but
I'm sorry if you get dumber after watching this show. If your IQ drops a couple of points, just get a good night's sleep. It'll come back. I promise.
Brought to you by Dr. Pepper and Carl's Jr.
Yes. Over the Top versus Twins. Oh, that's a good one.
You can't really. Who said that?
Phil. Punk Rock Phil.
Phil, that's ridiculous.
that's
Phil, I've never disagreed with you, and I think we're over now. I think we've broken up. That is not comparable. Those two movies are not comparable. Over the Top is a very serious movie about the right. Oh, ooh, yeah.
I'm like a machine, and when I turn my hat, it's like turning a switch.
Yeah, it was like a rite of passage movie.
And dude, how cool is it to just drive with one hand and just work out with the other? Because you never know.
Yeah, my freaking dad had to drop me off with a baseball cap and mirror shades at like McDonald's to be picked up by my mom when they were divorced. Like freaking Over the Top that kid got dropped off by the semi, got to go to arm wrestling. He got way better deal than I got. For sure.
Sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you guys want to
bring up old shit, but
let's jump to the next. Next subject.
What would be comparable, real quick, because Phil is a loyal contributor, and I don't want to just, brush him off for stepping in shit there. So Twins. Okay, what's the comparable? Would it be? Hold on. You can't say Over the Top. Sylvester Stallone, do you remember that shitty? And I'm sorry to.
Married to the Mob, or no?
The Mom.
What is it?
Stop or my mom will shoot.
No, Stop or my. I mean, you could.
Stop or my mom will shoot. And Kindergarten Cop are the two that would go.
Okay.
That would line up together.
Then what's Twins? Could you say Rhinestones?
Rhinestone
Could you say Rhinestones and Twins?
Rhinestone, Rhinestone and Twins. That's a good matchup. Oh man.
I mean, not a good matchup, but
Dave,
you could say it's the best around.
Oh my God! Oh well, first Dave says Cobra was awesome. That guy said he was going to blow up the store, and Sly said, "Okay, I don't shop here."
Yeah, totally. I remember I was going to say that. Oh man, it had really shitty bad guys too, like the guys that like bang the axes together. I thought that was cool when I was a kid, but later on I watched it, and that shit did not hold up.
Dude,
I was like, ooh.
This is neither, but it is kind of relevant. You remember Stone Cold with Brian Bosworth?
Fuck yeah, I remember Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Phil brings up Oscar. Did any of you guys see Oscar? It was like a musical, and like Juliette Lewis was in it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was Sylvester Stallone.
And Sylvester Stallone, dude. That's the only.
Phil, that was a good reference. For some reason in my mind, though, I thought it was Tony Danza. When you said Oscar, that's how bad it must have been.
That's the only movie.
Like
Angela.
Phil, you've got more sway than me.
Mona.
That's the only movie that I've ever walked out of. Me and my dad, we went and saw that. We went and saw that, and we were in there for 5 minutes, and we walked out of there, and then we didn't know it. Like we were like, my dad was like, "That was crap." So we went walking, and we just walked into the next theater that was, and walked into another theater,
and
walked.
Mamma Mia.
No, it was.
Oh, sorry.
It was Jeff Speakman, The Perfect Weapon, which is a badass movie. Have you ever seen The Perfect Weapon?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Yeah, this guy he was a kempo karate guy, and he had these batons, and he would just mess people up.
It was a piece of spaghetti that they threw up against the wall, Curtis, and it did not stick. But I appreciate it,
dude. That's a movie you got to.
Speedman was all right.
Me and Clint used to high five over Jeff Speakman. Like the Perfect Weapon. You want to watch an old '80s action movie?
Name sounds familiar.
I told them to go fuck themselves, and Michael Dudikoff was a way better Perfect Weapon in American Ninja than Perfect Weapon was. Sorry. Yeah,
no worries.
And then, but you know what was even cooler than a Perfect Weapon? What was that movie where the guy would put his train to where he could put his hand through the board? It was like kind of a comedy.
Oh, I can't remember.
Dude, Phil, help me out. It is a comedy karate, and the thing was he like walked up the Statue of Liberty or something like that.
Oh wow.
Is a karate movie that was like kind of comedy-ish.
I don't remember that one.
Damn it.
But you just made me think of Super Fuzz.
Well, Super Fuzz was great too. I'm gonna Google 80s karate movie.
Yeah, Phil was like he was a kempo martial artist. Fantastic. Sly and Party and Biffy and Studs his porn. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, you're freaking me out.
They Call Me Bruce.
No, that was great too, though, man. When he had the nunchucks and he said, "These are weapons," and he's like starts eating noodles with the nunchucks. Are you
talking about the movie where they're like, "Who's the man"?
No. That's The
Last Dragon.
The Last Dragon.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
I saw that in the same dollar theater.
American Ninja. I love that movie. I love Shokasugi. Shokasugi was awesome in all the ninja movies. What was the name of it? It was like something. It was a name. A guy's name. Come on. This is going to mess me
Arnold
up.
in Hercules in New York with overdubbed voice.
Yeah, that bums me out. But the Hercules in New York bums me out. But other than that.
That was Arnold Strong. That was not Arnold Schwarzenegger. You can hit the credits.
Curtis.
Not Kung Fu Hustle.
Curtis.
Wrong decade.
Phil brought up They Call Me Bruce. That was a great movie. What was the deal?
But but you're talking about, we're talking about Bruce Campbell now?
That's
Bruce Campbell.
No, They Call Me Bruce was not it was the one where like the guy, he's like an Asian guy. He gets into all these fights. He can't really fight. I think he goes up against the mob or something like that.
Rumble in the Bronx?
Dude, I'm getting bummed out. I can't figure out.
Well, and we're out of time.
Yeah. Totally.
You get Dustin Stroud, you get a big... Yeah. All right. Look at my face. I am Chinese. I don't even know what that means. All right. Next topic.
Dude.
Dumb and Dumber.
Remo Williams.
Dumb and Dumber versus Office Space. Holy smokes.
Now, oh God, that's a tough one.
Both of them were really important.
Both of them.
They're both hilarious, but in different ways.
As a man, they're both touchstones.
Yeah, those are the two that I matched up out of my selection of movies that I was thinking about. And I was like, those two. Those are both very important movies to me. I don't know if I could pick one over the other.
At the time you said it, Clint, it seemed like a hastily packed suitcase of a topic. But the more we kind of marinate on it, I'm like, both of them are kind of a love story.
Alicia Claudio says, what is this?
What is this?
This is a show. Yeah, this is a show where we talk about stuff, things versus other things. A lot of movie talk, but we might say what's better, the Whopper or the Big Mac.
Yeah.
But that would be a very generic topic.
So, Alicia, is it Alicia or Alicia?
It appears to
because Alicia is pretty cool too.
I say,
Alakia.
yeah, I don't know. What is this?
Well, that's a really meta kind of question. What would you like it to be?
Dave,
What would you like it to be? I don't know.
Dave said Dustin has ruined the show. Thanks,
Yeah.
Dustin.
Well, I'm just sticking to what I do best, Dave.
They probably wet the chair as well. I mean, but
And by the way, Olivia, you get the DJ air horn of the night.
The thing I couldn't remember was Remo Williams.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wait, but that's the guy who did all the.
Either. Oh, she goes by either Alicia or Alicia.
Ooh, you're mysterious.
Either. Yeah.
You're like the girl with the dragon tattoo. Who knows who you really are? I like that.
Curtis, what were you about to say?
No, Remo Williams. He was the one in all the. Oh man, what's his name? The name of those movies.
I know, and on that movie poster there was the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
I remember that. Let's see.
Okay, I derailed. You're right, Dave. I did ruin it.
I've got 2 votes so far. I've got Phil says no contest. Office Space is the winner on that one, and then Dave says Office Space only because it was filmed in Austin, which I don't know if that's relevant.
I think it disqualifies it actually.
A lot of that stuff's gone now. Alligator Grill's gone, man.
Yeah.
All that stuff's like Tchotchkes is gone. Like
I really liked
filmed in Austin 20 years ago, but like
I mean, like, what do you like? I quote those movies all the time.
Yeah.
You know, what's funnier? Like, get a room, you two, or the O face, or pills are good, pills are good. And every day I say, big gulps, huh? See you later.
See you later.
Every day I say that.
Or like, yeah, I tell my wife all the time, yeah, they're all out of the big ones.
or like whenever he's like, as I used to say, like whenever he's like, hey, you want to come over? And he's like, no, man. I want you fucking up my life too.
Yeah, totally, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I know what I do. I was a millionaire, 2 girls at the same time. Maybe that's what it takes to double up on a dude like me.
Or
Like-
I just get that feeling.
Yeah, just get that. I don't know. I just get that feeling. That was the first movie where it was just like a regular guy that ran that his bank account on giving a shit ran to 0 and he gave no more shits.
Mm-hmm.
Gave no more fucks. That was really good.
Or sometimes I'll say, oh, I just forgot. Oh yeah, Samsonite. I was way off. I say that all the time. All the time.
Swanson. Yeah. Would you like to wear a pair of these gloves I've got on too? Great.
Yeah, Alicia, vote. Well, you can vote in the comments if you want. Which one you think is you like better,
hot or not?
Which one's better? Which one's funnier? Which one do you like more? This is a very vague versus. This is now we might get into a situation where we're like Arnold and Sylvester Stallone bare knuckles street fight, and then there's a very definitive answer. But we're just the real point is for us to start talking about these movies and all the fun stuff that goes along with these things, these topics.
And Alicia, to your point, what is this? And I would say this is for your participation. When Clint was saying Dumb and Dumber and Office Space, I was like, nah, you got to pick not Office Space. You got to pick up something else that, to like a buddy movie. I'm like, what would be the opposite buddy movie for like a girl? I was like, Romy and Michelle's high school reunion. That's kind of like the female Dumb and Dumber. You know what I mean? They get together for a caper.
That's good.
And then Alicia, if you're
it's not even close. It's not even. It's not. That's
although Ramon explosions. Ramon.
Yeah, it's not even close. Not even close.
No, that's. I mean,
Alicia says Office.
Go
ahead, Curtis. Office Space. For sure.
There you go. See,
but and
we
then
shook the fence. We shook the fence, and you fell on one side. I like that.
And then Dave says, "That's great. We landed on the moon. We did it. We landed on the moon." So,
our pets' heads are falling off.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're too good.
Like, just funnier. Dumb and Dumber is to me.
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber's.
But more relevant, more real, like quotable, realistic. Office Space has to win. So
Yeah.
I don't. However you want to decide that.
Yeah. Yeah. Which movie's more?
Kick his ass, Seabass.
Yeah. Which movie's more quotable? I don't know. They're both too good. I back up on that ass with the resurrection.
Yeah,
There's
badass.
so many funny things in that movie.
Which is your favorite?
Not gonna work here anymore.
Yeah, TPS reports. I said that yesterday. TPS reports. I also said Samsonite yesterday.
I feel like when he sings "A Man Loves a Woman," it just doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, I am a Michael Bolton fan.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna change my name because of some no talent ass clown.
Yeah.
So good. Where does A League of Their Own fall?
Ooh, who asked that?
Alicia Claudio.
Hey, man, that's a great movie.
And
There's no
what?
crying in baseball.
That is a good
no
one.
crying in baseball.
It's a great movie, but
That was the first time and last time Rosie O'Donnell was cool.
That also falls into a
She's talented. She's a good stand-up, but she was actually cool in that movie.
that falls into a category. I almost made a category.
good in.
I almost made a category for the show that was that we could argue about which is the best Tom Hanks movie.
Ooh, that's good. Joe versus the volcano for me.
Come back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got Green Mile, you got Forrest Gump, you got the airport. Is that what it's called? Where he's stranded in the airport?
Terminal.
The terminal. There's
Philadelphia.
How do you
Castaway.
pick? How do you pick? Castaway. I mean, there's so many good ones.
I gotta go old school Bachelor
back.
Party or Joe versus the volcano.
Big.
Big's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have saved Big for the best switching bodies movie. We're gonna have to do that on another episode, because there's like 5 of them that all came out in the 80s.
I like Freaky Friday, bro. That's just me.
That would be good. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, we'll come back to that one. Remember, we got to remember that one next time.
No, wait. What were we talking about before Tom Hanks? Shit.
We were talking about Dumb and Dumber and Office Space.
Yeah, but. Yeah. Never mind.
League of Their Own.
A League of Their Own. Oh, so did you ever see the damn? Okay, what's it called? There is basically a softcore porno that is Rosie O'Donnell and Dan Aykroyd.
What is it?
And
Rosie O'Donnell.
and Dan Aykroyd.
I've seen it. It's called. It's Exit to Eden, I think.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that's it.
Wow.
And I watched this with my parents because
I
it
did
was
too.
advertised as a comedy. It was advertised as a comedy with Rosie O'Donnell and Dan Aykroyd, and they're barely in it as these like detectives, and it's basically a softcore porn.
Yeah, it was like everyone's naked. It was this big compound where everybody's.
I missed that.
Hedonism.
I missed that. You know what I mean? There's no
You're lucky
soft.
that you missed it, not with your parents. Like,
I can beat that, dude. I saw Basic Instinct with my parents.
all right.
Remember that one?
I do remember that.
Yeah,
yes.
Sharon Stone getting all wacky, and like I remember my mom must have been 5th grade. My mom covered my eyes like. I also saw Scarface in the theater in like 5th grade too. That was a crazy one.
I watched Poison Ivy with my parents.
Whoa.
First Poison Ivy. That was quite awkward as well.
I watched Debbie Does Dallas with my parents. No, not really.
Do you remember Dave asks, do you guys remember the Tom Hanks movie where he lost his mind and thought Dungeons and Dragons was real? Is that real?
Mazes and Monsters.
Yeah, yeah, Mazes and Monsters. And he was also was he in Gotcha? Or was that somebody else? It was like a movie where it was like when paintball first came into play. And Gotcha, they like ran around and shot each other with paintballs. There was a killer that was like really shooting people.
Oh, I remember that.
I don't know. I don't remember that one.
I remember that. That's
Phil. Why don't you Google if Tom Hanks was in Gotcha, or like dunk on me who was really in it.
Alicia says, I miss Riddling Kids. This is fun too.
Oh, cool.
Aw.
Man. Yeah.
Everybody misses Riddling Kids. When are y'all gonna do a reunion show so I can come up to Austin for a reason?
You know what?
Well, we've been talking a little bit.
Mark Johnson's the only one we haven't talked to about this, but let's do it, Mark.
Yeah.
Tell George Monson to get it together.
Yeah, we're like, dude, we've all just been like, hey, the 20-year of Hurry Up and Wait is right around the corner. Why should, and I'm pretty sure August 6th, which is the day that it came out, is a Saturday night. I'm pretty sure. So it seems like yeah. I
next
mean,
year?
What'd you say?
Next year?
Yeah, on 2022. So right about the time, by that time we'll be out of alphabets for the variants.
Yeah,
and
good.
We'll be past Zeta, so then it'll be over with. So then
I'm like a hooker with a heart of gold. I'd do that for free.
Yeah. Well, let's. You guys want to jump on a new topic?
Yeah, because I've totally Dumb and Dumber versus Office Space.
So we're gonna say Office Space won because of the crowd participation.
I feel like you made a compelling argument too. I started out, I was like, "There's no way Dumb and Dumber can't win," but
yeah, I mean, it's a tough one. That's a very hard one.
Yeah, Jennifer Aniston beats that hot soap opera lady that was in Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah. I was telling Clint, I'm like, Jim Carrey ran away with every leading lady he's in a movie with. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Wonder if that was in the contract.
Oh, Lauren Holly. I loved Lauren Holly. Lauren Holly was it? Yeah.
It's prior to the Me Too situation. You could do that.
Well, yeah.
Well, here's another one. Anchorman versus 40-Year-Old Virgin. What do you guys think?
I gotta go Anchorman.
I gotta go Anchorman. Anchorman's one of the funniest things. I would even put Anchorman maybe up against Dumb and Dumber as funniest. Oh, the first Anchorman.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a soft spot in my heart for 40-Year-Old Virgin. That movie is ridiculous. Like
it is. You're right. You're not wrong. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's as a premise.
Yeah,
it's a really great premise too.
Well, and just the old man alone, the motherfucker, in the store, that guy's hilarious.
Oh, darkness.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then also a fucking the what's her name?
From Glee.
The chick that's like He came out of nowhere. The drunk. You're a fucking doorman.
Judd Apatow's.
Oh, but wait, I'm mixing up. Knocked Up. No, that is this movie.
She's drunk and driving crazy and throwing up.
Is that shell? And he's like, is that shellfish? Yeah. Her in that movie alone is makes that. Yeah. I just love that movie.
When you're talking about the doorman thing, I just watched that clip from Knocked Up.
Yeah. You're fucking doorman.
You old as fuck. She pregnant. What are you even doing?
That's bad.
Be ashamed of yourself.
That's bad parenting right there.
Bad parenting.
Yeah, that's super hilarious.
Look, I know.
Oh boy. Phil says Riddling Kids versus Blink-182. Thanks, Phil.
Thanks, Phil.
All right. Anchorman, Dave Riddlin says Anchorman.
So now we got to ask. So let's ask our Dave and Phil. And then, so what about now? Let's send it. So 40-Year-Old Virgin has more of a overarching story as well as Office Space.
Yeah,
they're both comedies. Anchorman is more just hit comedy.
Yeah,
so Dumb and Dumber.
Punchline.
So who wins, Anchorman or Dumb and Dumber? 40-Year-Old Virgin or Office Space?
If they're all in a 4 battle royale,
battle royale,
old style. If they're Bam Bam Bigelow that shakes the ropes and knocks all the other ones out of the ring.
That's right.
That's tough.
For all time, if I was going to put it in a time capsule for an alien to if I was going to die on a hill for one of those movies, I might have to say Dumb and Dumber. Even if one of the other one was better, written or executed, the end of Dumb and Dumber is just so cool.
Yeah, it's
so good.
Pretty fantastic.
Yeah. And you could just go on forever if they continued to film it like a TV series, like back to back. You can't go back and do a Dumb and Dumber or whatever. It's been a bad, abort. But
what was better, Dumb and Dumber or Dumb and Dumber 2?
Oh,
I want to say it's like you, bro. I haven't watched either one of those all the way through, like the Bond situation.
Dumb and Dumber. I just pretend that didn't happen. Like I did.
I still think it's better than Dumb and Dumber 2. Like Dumb and Dumber 2 bummed me out so much, man.
Okay. Dumb and Dumber 2 or Anchorman 2?
Oh God,
that's a good one. That's pretty good.
You be talking about better?
Yeah.
That's rough.
Do I want to be hung by my, screws in my thumbnail and my thumbs, or hung by my toenails?
Is suicide a choice?
Yeah. Dumb and Dumber in Office Space.
Mm-hmm. So Office Space wins out so far, but I guess we've got a tie between Anchorman and Dumb and Dumber.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, character development wise, you have static characters or characters that kind of developed. Office Space wins too, because you kind of have a,
character arc.
There's kind of like a moral to Office Space. You know what I mean? There's not really a moral. I guess there's sort of a moral to 40-Year-Old Virgin. We're thinking way deeper into these movies than I think was intended.
Than anybody ever.
It's kind of like we're swishing Gallo wine around in our mouth going, I detect a little bit of nut, perhaps some oak. It's a good vintage.
Shoe leather? Is it shoe leather?
I feel like if I'm going to die on a hill for one of these and you're like, Daddy died defending Dumb and Dumber, I feel like that's the most noble cause. But if I have my heart of hearts, I'm really not that cool. And I got to say, Anchorman is really the one I relate to out of all of those.
Honestly, Anchorman, like Dumb and Dumber was it for and honestly, before he put that slide up, I was like, Dumb and Dumber is the funniest movie I've ever seen. But then he put that up and I was like, shit, man, I watched Anchorman. I could put it in right now. Still cracking.
Yeah.
It was, to me, but the sequel was so bad. Oh man.
So I like Anchorman. I quote so much Anchorman through every band I've been in. And I quote a lot of, later on, I quoted a lot of, do you remember Semi-Pro?
I watched it, but I didn't. It wasn't. Maybe twice.
There's some really good lines. They're like, whoever gets a basket from the half court line, gets lifetime supply of corn dogs. And Will Ferrell's like, we don't even have corn dogs. And they gave him a giant check. Like they didn't give him a real check, and he couldn't actually cash it at the bank or whatever. And I love it when he's in the scene where he's having a party after the game and somebody messes up and he's like, you're on snack patrol. You're like, get out of here. You're on snack patrol. I put a lot of people on snack patrol in my life. I feel like
you're doing like a buddy of mine does that. He'll make the movie seems so good because when we were talking about it, it's so hilarious. You do it better than the movie actually does. And then you watch it and you're like,
There is a scene though when a bear gets loose. They try to have a bear, one of the mascots or something. They're like, we're gonna release a bear, and they can't figure out where the bear is. And Will Ferrell's going, precious, like that. And the bear's like, raw. And everybody's like, ah.
Sex Panther.
Good. No, I was talking
60% of the time, it works every time.
Yeah, I was like, if I have to die on a hill, it's going to be for Dumber and Dumber. But truth be told, I'm probably more Anchorman than anything else I go. But then as a sidebar, I was like, have you seen Semi-Pro?
No.
That's a good one.
I've seen it. I know I've seen it, but
we don't even have corn dogs. That's like my favorite line, maybe, of any movie. He was like, lifetime supply of corn dogs. The guy makes the shot. He was like a heroin addict. He was like nodding off, and he snaps to and then throws the ball up in the air, and it makes the basket. And they're like, God.
Let's see here. I'm going to skip the superhero questions.
Why?
Or do you want to do it?
Dude,
all right.
you've got to... Dude.
All right, here.
Respect the host.
Okay, gang. Hulk versus Superman. This is the age-old question. Everyone asks, Hulk versus Superman.
And then I'm going to ask a follow-up. You know, what is it? Like, marry, fuck, kill or something like that? Is that what they say?
Yeah. Hulk versus Superman. I'm having
Which one? Marry, fuck, kill. Hulk versus Superman.
There we go. What do you guys think? Who would win in a fight?
Curtis, I've already told him before when we were off air. I'm like, all you got to do is just, as Superman, fly Hulk up into space, and he's like fucking done. You're done, son.
To me,
or throw him into the sun. Throw him into the fucking sun. You know the physics behind that, Curtis.
Yeah, but you're right.
It's got to be one of those Marvel. It's got to be one of those Marvel Battle Planet things where neither one of them can escape. They're like forced to.
So I have Marvel versus DC, and Superman won.
Yeah.
Okay. But that was based on fan voting, so it's kind of bullshit to me.
I remember that.
But here's the deal: how did Superman die? Like when Superman died,
really bad writing. That's how he died.
That combined with being beaten to death.
Yeah.
Doomsday just beat him to death.
Yeah.
And so if Doomsday can beat Superman to death, Hulk is just going to demolish. Like, Superman's dead. Like, there's no question to me.
Hulk with
Hulk
with kryptonite brass knucks.
Plus the madder he gets, the harder he hits. So eventually,
like, Hulk's gonna win.
I feel like if you remember the Marvel like Battle Planet things that they had, where they're like stuck on the planet. If you did that, where like Superman couldn't fly away or like flee or some shit like that, Hulk I think would eventually win, perhaps. But then and which era of Superman? Because Superman got more and more ridiculously powerful. As like
that's what I mean. You're basically fighting a god.
Each decade that went on. Yeah.
Yes, Dave. They are from different universes, but there have been crossovers.
Ooh, did somebody ask Ed Norton Hulk versus 1979 Superman?
Dave said that Ed Norton Hulk 1979 Superman.
Woo!
Superman,
kneel before Zod.
Son of Jor-El, kneel before Zod. Dude, my money's on Zod.
Yeah.
Well,
what do you got? What are you tabulating there, Curtis? I could see the wheels turning.
Could Bill Bixby ever stood a chance against Christopher Reeves?
Now the actors in a street fight, Bill Bixby versus Christopher Reeves.
Christopher Reeves was like a trained dancer, I think. I think he could have whipped Bill Bixby's ass, probably.
Bill Bixby had a hell of a beard, though.
And an equestrian.
He had a hell of a beard.
Yeah.
Am I right? Dave. Or Philip. Or somebody.
Yeah. Just fucking...
Hell of a beard.
Just fucking leave us hanging there, huh?
Yeah, and Phil said no, it has to be on Earth. Hey, here's something exciting. We got James Gunn, did the Suicide Squad, and he did Guardians of the Galaxy. He's been dealing with both movie studios, and he's posed the question to both. Hey, could we do a crossover, a DC Marvel crossover? And both he's, from what I've heard, both sides are kind of like, Yeah, we wouldn't be against that, but it and I'm sure it's going to be a whole an ocean of lawyers to get through. Probably never happen, but being that he's been dealing with both companies, he's actually
Disney will just buy WB. It's not even a thing anymore.
Yeah,
totally, dude,
totally. But I've heard that. I was like, dude, that would be awesome if they crossed over, did crossovers.
Yeah.
That would be huge. God, that would be huge.
And Phil says no. So Dustin, you say Superman, and Curtis, you say.
Don't get me wrong, I love the Hulk, specifically Gray Hulk, but I like green, old school, super old school.
He spent the whole time before we were on air talking about how much the Hulk sucked and how much.
Totally.
And he couldn't tell me a single thing about the Hulk.
Yeah, man. Everybody gives Todd McFarlane props for Spawn and Spider-Man. I think he saved the Hulk.
Yeah.
The Hulk was about as popular as the Thing.
Absolutely did.
Yeah.
Well, soon we'll have a She-Hulk show with starring Tatiana Maslany.
I back that.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
I don't know who that is.
She's have you ever seen a Black Orphan? It's a BBC series. It's an awesome show. I actually fell in love with this show. I can't stop watching. I've been binge watching this show. And she plays multiple. It's about clones. Is it
on? What is it? Is it streaming anywhere?
It's on Amazon. It's streaming on Amazon right now, and there's 4 seasons. It's really good. And
it's like LaFont Nikita done more realistic. It's really good.
Yeah,
like as far as like action.
There's not really like fighting or any kind of Nikita kind of thing, but like the acting, she does such a good job. She does like a posh English accent, like a rough around the edges English accent. She does like a Ukrainian accent and all these different characters because she plays all the clones. A science nerd, and it's just cool. It's really cool.
It's cool, dude.
And
you'll like it.
Yeah, they don't know what's going on. All of a sudden you find like, oh yeah, she finds out she's a clone, and then she meets other versions of herself, and it's pretty weird. And it's
Orphan Black.
It's a good show.
Orphan Black. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so if you haven't read She-Hulk though, so like you don't need to, from what I understand, and if they're in any way intelligent, like you don't need to go back to the original She-Hulk. Basically, She-Hulk exists because like they were making female copies of the Marvel, heroes. But then She-Hulk was kind of successful. And so then another writer took over and was like, I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want. This thing's going to be canceled in 2 years anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And he did. And it was like one of the, I think, if not the first, one of the first fourth wall breaking comic books. Like she was ripping through comic book ads like in the book and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, cool. I remember that. That's cool.
And so he just did it because he was like, I know it's going to be canceled. Like, so let's just
drew that?
Go with it. But then everybody liked it, and so she kept getting these like they would get picked up because they're popular, and then like dropped, but once she got a real series, like she was a superhero lawyer.
That's right. Yeah, she's the lawyer,
and that's where it starts getting good, and that's probably where they're going to pick up. Like she's so great. It makes sense.
They're gonna do it with the blood transfusion.
They're gonna Mark Ruffalo is gonna appear in this show. He's gonna give her a blood transfusion. She's gonna be a lawyer, and this is gonna be kind of a courtroom show. And so
because that's how it works. It really works.
Yeah, man. And Disney's been really cool about making all of these series different. Mm-hmm. And so she's gonna be a lawyer in this. And what's her name? I forgot. Titania, is that the bad girl? Titania. She's going to be in it, and I think she's being played by that like really tall lady that was in The Good Place with Ted Danson.
That's true.
That's I forgot her name.
I forgot her name too. She's awesome.
Yeah, but she's an Amazon. She's a really tall lady. Beautiful woman, and she's playing Titania. So from what I've heard, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
Exciting.
Hopefully they'll have Doc Samson in there. They got to bring him in.
They have to. I mean, they have. To. But
yeah. Let's see here. Well, do you want to let's jump to the next one. Well, this will be a quick one. We'll just see what everybody says, but okay, guys, DC or Marvel? Huh? DC or Marvel?
I'm always back when Clint was doing like Black Shirt in earnest, I was kind of like, is DC even really like can be taken seriously? Like, I know it's got Superman, but it's kind of like almost like you kind of just keep them in there, keep that stuff in there, like for sentimental purposes. There's no real.
I have a soft spot for both. It's tough.
I know.
I'm very much Marvel. I always have been, and even before the movies, cinematic universe and all that good stuff. Because DC was like that's the thing. People or kids don't like DC was whooping Marvel's ass for
forever,
our whole lives. Like there was no good Marvel movies. There was no it was like there'd be some shitty made for TV
Captain
Spider-Man
America or Spider-Man. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah. And like that's even their best guys, Spider-Man, like that was their number one box office draw, and he got like the nothing until 2000.
Yeah, Hulk TV show was good.
I agree with that.
I like the Hulk TV show also.
They're not that there weren't, but like DC had Batman, Superman, like 5 Superman movies and whatever. Like DC was just winning and winning and winning.
Yeah,
and. But that thing is, Marvel has always been modern. Their heroes have flaws, like Iron Man's a drunk, Cap's a man at a time. Thor has to battle between two worlds. Am I going to save Earth? Am I going to save Asgard? And all this, like they always have these problems, like normal human beings. So you can kind of relate to him. Spider-Man's a geeky teen, whereas the DC heroes have always been like godlike and And whenever they brought Batman down and made him gritty again, that's what made him good again, and because, that's the character.
The Dark Knight graphic novels are the greatest thing that ever happened to DC when it happened to him in the late 80s. And the Dark Knight graphic novels came out that really Batman became like a person you knew. Basically what Curtis is trying to say is Marvel is nuanced, DC's basic. If you're a basic B, cool. Yeah, you want to be basic?
Yeah.
I can't hate on you.
I love them both.
Detective Comics was really cool. But yeah, if I'm
my time waiting for Marvel movies forever. That's what I'm saying too. Like, I'm glad they're here. Like it was DC, only DC forever.
Totally.
I've seen Superman 1 and 2 so many times. I've seen those
Superman.
I've seen both of those movies as much as I've probably seen Star Wars, which is at least 100 times for both of those movies. Like I loved it too, man. Those movies.
And I had all the comics and I had all the action figures and stuff like that. I hate to be that way, and I probably learned how to draw out of the DC Who's Who comics. They were like encyclopedias for characters.
And you remember how awesome it was in 1989 when Batman with Michael Keaton came out?
It.
That was like game over, dude. Like it was the best thing ever. I had like 7 Batman T-shirts. Like I
went to the Temple Mall and saw Batman with a friend of mine. Vicky Vale, get the funk up.
Now I used to watch. Saturday morning on NBC, I would watch Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends with Iceman and Fire. Is it Firestar or Firestorm?
Firestar. Yeah, Firestar.
Star, yeah.
Yeah, Curtis.
Yeah. Man, I used to love that.
I used to watch the Electric Company that had
Morgan
Freeman in it, and the "Where are you coming from, Spider-Man? Nobody knows who you are."
Yep, Morgan Freeman being in Spider-Man on the Electric Company is about as crazy as oh geez, what's his name? What's Morpheus's name?
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne being on Pee-wee's Playhouse.
You remember Cowboy Carl?
He was Cowboy Curtis.
Oh, Cowboy Curtis. That's
right.
Yeah, I love Cowboy Curtis. Pretty awesome.
Now,
Miss
here's something
Yvonne.
now, when you think about not just DC and Marvel, but when you're wondering, did this become a cash cow? Okay,
For who?
for any franchise or whatever. When did it become a cash cow? And they're like, we don't need to make anything good. Let's just put it out with the name on there and be done with
Crank it.
Okay,
Brand it, crank it.
I didn't. It took YouTube for me to realize this, but Superman, I think it's 5. The Quest for Peace. It's either 4 or 5.
It's 4.
4.
Yeah, with Nuclear Man.
Yes.
Yep.
When you watch that movie, look at the special effects. That came out the same year as Predator, and it is cartoonish. Like it's ridiculously cartoonish. And it's and then Predator comes out and it's like, oh, like everybody was like, oh my god, look at what is that? It's Predator.
Look up here.
This is all the money in the world. Warner Brothers, DC, like all the money in the world. Like it's laughable. Like then they're just like cash cow.
That movie was trash compared to the other 3.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? Like even the effects, they kind of just let it go. They were just milking it and just let it go. I remember
when I was a kid.
Yeah, I loved it too, but I didn't love it as much. I've watched that movie. I've seen that movie maybe 4 times, and I've seen Superman 2 100 times. Superman 2 with the three villain Kryptonians. That movie, Superman, and like him flying into the Coca-Cola sign and all that stuff. And again, the first one, I love when he changes and the guy goes, "Hey man, that's a bad outfit." Like, he sees his suit. It's so good.
That's awesome.
Oh, I love it. Hey, Dave. Curtis. Dave asked a question and said he wanted me to ask you. So I'm going to put this on the screen. I've always wondered why they didn't make a sequel to The Professional with Natalie Portman using the skills she learned from The Hitman.
That's such a good question, Dave. That's such a good question.
And where she's a grown-up?
Yeah. All I can guess is she wasn't on board. They were supposed to for years. Yeah, Dave. I mean, like that. Like it was supposed. Like if you haven't seen The Professional, like just
they should go back and do that. They should go back. She should be an older hit woman now, and maybe a young boy she teaches
that was
or something.
Like DC, but it was like plan. I don't know about planned, but like they had been talking about it for years, Dave. Like they were going to do it. And she grew up, and that's just the path she took. Man. And like I don't know why either. Other
Gary
than
Oldman.
Like I'm not going to do it. I mean, you could do it without her, but it wouldn't be as. I mean, it might be just. Who knows? But what's the other lady?
What's that?
The other lady looks just like her that they use in Clones.
Oh, you mean the one from
Keira Knightley?
Keira Knightley,
yeah. Just use Keira Knightley.
Yeah, that would work. She says she gets mistaken. People are constantly stopping her on the street and asking her that. Yes, and then let's see. We got any comments here? We got Alicia Claudio doing a bunch of commenting, and let's move to the next topic.
Yep. DC basic Marvel nuance.
This is gonna be a good one.
Figured that out.
What's the best Indiana Jones movie?
That's a good question.
It's a trick question.
Anybody says a Crystal Skull,
I do like in the Crystal Skull how they have like
how they nuke the fridge.
They nuke the fridge.
I haven't actually seen it all the way through, so
yeah.
The fourth one. Every other Indiana Jones for sure. To me, the second one would be last.
It's almost. I agree with it's Temple almost, of Doom. But it's almost good in its own right. If it was not an Indiana Jones, yeah.
I'm not saying it's bad by any means.
The tone is completely different than the other movies.
But for
Dr. Jones.
first and third one are because I love the dynamic with his dad, Sean Connery.
I'm gonna say that the Holy Grail. That's the Last Crusade's my favorite one, and it's hard for me to say. But when Hitler takes the book from him and signs his autograph, that's pretty awesome. And then the motorcycle fight scenes,
having Sean Connery.
Yeah,
we named the dog Indiana.
Exactly.
Junior.
The dog Indiana.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
I might like the first. I love when the guy busts out with the sword and he just pulls the gun out and shoots him. That was like one of the greatest things ever, and that was on the fly. He wasn't feeling very good that day, and when he did that was just he just did that on the fly, and they're like, that's good. We're keeping that. But he was actually sick. He had like food poisoning or something that day. And he did the same thing with the "I love you, I know" Han Solo line. You know what I mean? And he's really good. So a lot of these things we love about Harrison Ford, they came from him.
We have those pillows in my house on the bed.
Which pillows?
It's a Princess Leia hair. It says "I love you," and then it's a Han Solo blaster, and it says "I know."
Oh, I've seen those. Yeah, those are cool.
We've got those pillows. So, are we saying all of us saying?
Dave's saying the first one by far. It's like asking what's better, Jaws or Jaws 2. Man, I would say that, except like when I think about the fondness of if I had to watch
Toby Hooper, baseball player.
If I get the chance right now, hey, do you want to watch Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, or do I want to watch 3 with Last Crusade? I might say The Last Crusade. If I had a choice to watch either one of those, I think I would probably pick The Last Crusade. You chose wisely, you know?
Yeah. Well, so and what affected me more as a human being was definitely the first one. Like seeing Hitler's people melt when they opened the park. Like, okay, like that one, it straight up wins. But to your point, like, and maybe it's because I've seen the first one more. You know, I've seen it more times than I've seen the third one, just by, life. But
only the penitent man will pass.
Yeah, there was some kind of,
and they got to put the little the gravel on the invisible road.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. That was
so cool.
Oh man.
My favorite Raiders of the Lost Ark was my favorite Indiana Jones was Goonies.
That was
Just kidding.
I'm excited about the new one. From what I understand, the new one is going to be good. I have a feeling he's going to be taking. I have a feeling he's going to be riding in the sidecar on this one. He
should do the Sean Connery.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he's getting up there, and I think he's 78.
Is Shia LaBeouf going to do it?
Right?
Do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
And then he also he like hurt his shoulder. He like dislocated his shoulder or something doing a stunt.
78.
I'm pretty sure he's 78. Let's see. I gotta ask Siri real quick.
I like when his hair.
How old is Harrison Ford?
I like when his hair and his beard's all grown out like the Unabomber. That's my favorite Harrison Ford. When he comes on talk shows like that.
How old is
he? And acts all
I don't
awkward.
even have to try anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. How was the movie? How was filming the movie? Yeah, it was.
Give me
good. It was good.
How old is Harrison Ford? 79. He's 79 years old.
I wonder if he's let Callista Flockhart have a sandwich yet.
Oh boy. All right.
Lunchables. Just
Dave
Lunchables.
says he has to go. Talk to you soon. Olivia wants to watch
Godspeed, Dave.
hip hop videos. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, get it. All right. Well, y'all have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you next time there, Dave. Goonies area being shown at Wild Waves tomorrow.
Ah, cool.
Cool. Let's see here. All right. Now
Next.
we're going to do the next one. Yeah, I don't know. What's the best Star Wars?
I'm curious which one you would say, Curtis.
Oh.
Should I pop the cherry on this one? I'm going to say Empire for
We're
me.
not leaving, Alicia. We're staying right here.
Empire for me. Because I'm a Darth Vader fan.
I mean, now that I'm older, Empire. When I was younger, I would have said Return of the Jedi.
Jedi's not a wrong answer. It's a great movie.
Yeah. I like the OG.
I mean, but because it's just got so many more monsters. You know, it's got Jabba, and it's got the Rancor, and it's got the Ewoks, and it's got but yeah, Empire is definitely a better movie.
The coolest part of Return of the Jedi is seeing a mysterious, serious Luke dressed in all black, and he and full of macho, like he wasn't scared at all.
Yeah.
And he goes in there and then seeing him shoot the lightsaber up in the air and he does a flip off the plank. It's the first time you get to see Luke do any real Jedi stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, yes.
He's like, I came to whoop ass.
Yeah.
I came to kick ass and chew bubble gum.
That's right.
I'm all out of bubble gum.
Yeah, and then you have Slave Leia. That was a good thing when I was at that time. And then you've got just the whole movie was awesome. But I love the first one. I've seen the first one so many times.
It's so good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I say the first one, I mean episode 4, of course. But yeah, I've seen that one since I can remember. And I saw Empire Strikes Back in the theater as a toddler. And it gave me nightmares because Luke gets Luke gets his hand cut off and it was scary to me, and I remember having dreams, and I still don't know if they had a guy in a Darth Vader suit at the theater and this really happened, or if I dreamt this. But when I left the theater, Darth Vader was at the back outside in the lobby of the theater of the Cinema Twin in McAllen, and I went over and started trying to push the buttons on his chest to hurt him because he cut Luke's hand off. And I don't know if I went home and dreamt that because I got nightmares, or if that really happened. But I was trying to hurt Darth Vader. Crazy times. There's no way to find out either.
I've said this before, Curtis, but I feel like in all the characters that George Lucas has written from start of his career to him retiring, Darth Vader is the only dynamic, evolving, changing character that there is. Luke changes a little bit, but he's pretty much still the same guy that he always was. He goes through the hero's journey, but it doesn't really change him. Anakin Skywalker, from a little kid to Force Ghost, a lot of changes going on there.
Well, from your point of view, from what you said, from what Lucas has written, that's correct. However, and I agree with you, I'm 100% on board with you, but with the new series, it's the Palpatine saga. It's not the Skywalker saga.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the fucking Palpatine.
You could argue that that they retconned the whole series to be the Palpatine saga. If him and Darth Plagueis created Anakin in the first place.
Yeah. Everybody else is inconsequential.
There's
I like the whole, this is going to be weird, but I think there's 2 movies that should get honorable mention. Rogue One, because
fair enough,
because it's the best one,
dude. Rogue One is like
of the newer movies. It absolutely
Rogue One is like if what's his name that did Apocalypse Now?
Oh shit.
Not Stanley Kubrick. You know what I'm talking about? If he did a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Where they're like storming the beaches and then at the end Darth Vader wrecks shop.
That's the other good thing about that movie is that you finally get to see Darth Vader doing badass stuff. Our whole lives, they never had the effects to effectively make a guy go in and just be badass. Yeah. They relied on fear, like music and making you feel a presence of fear and stuff. Yeah. But you saw like a dude like
he's pretty wooden. And he was pretty much like Showbiz Pizza animatronic.
Exactly.
Me, I am Darth Vader. You cannot get away from me. He's like Jason. He was scary like Jason was scary because he's like persistent and moves slow, but he was always going to be there and you weren't going to be able to get away at the end. You know,
Well, and that was cool at first, and then we got all this other new Star Wars stuff where Jedi's are flipping around and throwing like.
You're like, hey man, what about
dude? In the last 10 minutes of Rogue One, I practically stood up in my seat. I was freaking losing my mind. Do you know what I mean? I was like, when all of a sudden he goes in there and starts wrecking shop, I was like, holy crap! And I got just as excited on Mandalorian when Luke shows up. And starts doing the same thing. I'm like, finally, we get to see why these guys are so awesome. We've been told they're awesome for 45 years, but you get to actually see them be awesome.
Rogue One, Darth Vader, I'll just say this right now, and maybe there's a seat in hell waiting for me, but Rogue One, Darth Vader, that's my spirit animal. Absolutely. I like people that have on my list, when the lights go out, I'm going to eat you. Like a hyena.
Rogue One,
bones.
Rogue One, Darth Vader versus Mandalorian, Luke Skywalker. Who wins in a fight?
I don't know. I like the thing that the fan made thing where they show you the scenes you didn't see with him fighting Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan, yeah,
that's pretty cool. But I want to say honorable mention, and people are gonna hate me for this, but Last Jedi, the scene where they kill Snoke. That was totally unexpected. That was like if Tarantino.
Oh yeah.
If Tarantino did a Star Wars, even now he. Like the
okay. So a
and
lot
then
of
that fight scene that goes on with the red, Sith guards or whatever. That's badass.
Okay,
and he's fighting for the girl. He's like, F authority. I want this chick.
So what do you got, Curtis? I can see you're brewing on some over there.
But so this is what bothers me.
He's probably like, Dustin, I'm no longer your friend.
Yes.
No, I'm not. So I'm not as highly against Last Jedi as people are, or people are. But what I don't get about Last Jedi and Lucas's episode 3.
Return of the Jedi?
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith, yeah.
Revenge of the Sith. Okay. They give these ulterior motives for switching to the dark side, okay? So in Last Jedi, Luke was going to kill
Ben Solo.
Yes. Because he saw the dark side rising in him or whatever, right? He's going to kill him. Okay, and then Ben Solo woke up and saw that, and then actually turned into a Sith.
Right.
Okay, and then in episode 3, Palpatine had to convince Skywalker or Anakin that his children or his wife and his children died, and he could use the dark side to bring them back. But to me, like, we are all humans. We all understand humanity. Power is self-corrupting. If it's like, hey, you know what? You want more power? And it's like, well, yeah. Like, they would just do that. Like, people would just naturally gravitate to to do that. Like, they don't need these, like, complicated storylines.
I agree.
Like, I just don't get why they do that.
And to your point, I think
the Jedi are super trained, like from that's why they get them young. They brainwash them to do anything they can to avoid anything that's going to corrupt them. That's what they do. And if they look dangerous, they fear them. You know what I mean? If there's any kind of a threat, they fear them to the point of to where it makes them the bad guy. Really, you've gone on a whole rant about how
the Jedi are weak. They're like the weakest link in the whole Star Wars. The Jedi philosophy is like the weak link besides Qui-Gon. And I think Anakin was just as much corrupted by these hoes are holding me back as he was by I gotta figure out some kind of wizard way to protect my lady and unborn children from dying as anything else. Like, that was the kind of thing that was like already pushed him that way. And then when he was like, and then I can give you special powers that these guys can't to protect, blah, blah, blah. He was like, all right. And he's, had a chip on his shoulder, everything else. it's easy to, it's easy to entrap somebody. The FBI does it all the time.
But that's my point too. Like, especially someone who is already naturally more powerful than all of his peers. And it's like, you know what? I mean, I can give you more power. He's gonna be like, all right, let's do it, bro. Like any human would do that. And I know that the Jedi teachings are altruistic and stuff like that, but like, it's just like, because people think I will do good with my newfound power. I will, it never happens, but I will take that power and I will make good things happen, and everyone will be so happy.
The strong man.
Well, that's the deal. It's the same like politicians and dictators. They think, I know, and I have the power now, and people don't know, so I'm going to do what's best for them for their own good. And that's they start controlling things and using their power.
What we're talking about, that's legitimately what Napoleon thought.
Yeah.
The first form of government, the very first form of government, is might makes right. That's the first form of government. And we are thousands and thousands of years away from that, but we still keep nestling, trying to snuggle back up to it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that got deep.
Crazy.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I like that.
It's freaking Star Wars, man.
That's right.
That's how, stupid lightsaber movie.
Mr. Grant Gregory said, I hope you recovered from the other night. Mr. Grant Gregory, I don't know if you mean the other night, like 3 days ago, or if you mean last night, but both times I was feeling pretty good. I'm probably not going to drink for 2 weeks.
You were telling me before you weren't drinking. You were actually doing the transcendental meditation thing that you'd learned from.
Right, yeah.
From Yoda? It's bad. Sometimes I don't sleep, and I stay up and I end up working on things, and I don't get a lot of sleep. Then the next day, and I don't like wasting time, so then the next day, I'm tired, and instead of going to sleep, I'll just drink a little bit, and then I get all this energy, and then I stay up, and the next day I'm tired, so I just have to get off of that. It snowballs. Because after a couple drinks, I'm like, hey, I'm not tired, or I feel great. So, yeah, it's crazy times.
Wow.
Well, let's ask this question. Best Star Trek captain.
Are you a Trekker at all, or a Trekkie? I'm a Trekker. Bet you didn't know I played both sides of I played the home team and the away and the visitors.
I'll always say Picard. I'm a big Patrick Stewart fan, so Picard.
I mean, I'm not. I definitely watched I would say I'll say Kirk, because I definitely watched the original series more than anything else growing up. I watched some of the Next Generation, but that's about as far as I can go.
I'm a Captain Jonathan fan. Enterprise. I celebrate
his entire collection.
That's right. I love it. Plus, I like
Scott Bakula.
Scott Bakula, man.
Well, I always like Scott Bakula. Who was he?
He's the dude from Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap, man.
Quantum Leap.
Well, I know that.
He's Captain Jonathan. He's they did a prequel, like even before Captain Kirk era, like when they had just figured out light speed technology. It was called Enterprise. Right when they had met the Vulcans. That's when it picks up. So Romulans, I forget. Oh man, like Ginty from Creepshow is going to hate me, but I forgot what the guys with the blue guys with the little antennas. They're in it all. What's that?
Baculans.
What are they called?
Baculans.
Baculans?
Yeah.
With the antennas?
Yeah.
Blue skin or whatever. Yeah, those are rad in that show. They like have motorcycle jackets, and they look like European motorcycle club. And they have like little man bags, and they're like kind of like spy kind of people. It's pretty cool. Natchet like thinks it's heresy that I like that. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, man, he's super cool. He plays water polo. He's an awesome captain.
Has Natchet seen Quantum Leap?
Who knows, man? He's younger than us.
Well, we got to check that.
Who knows?
We got to figure that out.
Who knows, dude?
I don't see how you could. I haven't even seen the show. But
Let's go to the next topic, which is He-Man versus G.I. Joe.
Toys.
Oh, He-Man.
He-Man.
Gotta go He-Man.
Curtis, I told this story before, but the first time I got He-Man, I got it because I needed to get him and take a permanent marker and make his hair black so I could have a Conan the Barbarian, like the Conan comics, the black and white ones. I had every Conan black and white. Yeah, I was like, oh, sweet. And I like took his stupid like silver thing off his chest and I like painted his hair black and he had the sword and I'm like, Conan.
Would you watch the Toys That Made Us?
Yeah. Well, see, dude,
he was straight up based off of Conan.
I was a little bit older than you, so I got the toys before the cartoons came out. When the cartoons came out, I was crying to my mom to get me another He-Man because I wanted He-Man. You know what I mean? But before that, I was like, sweet, dude.
Dude, I got He-Man before also, but I had Castle Grayskull, I had the Spider, I had the
Beastman was my favorite action figure.
Beastman was badass. Merman, there's a whole bunch.
Oh yeah,
whole bunch of really good. There was then the Horde came out way later.
Yeah. I liked Lockjaw was my favorite
with the slime pit.
Yeah, that was my favorite figure actually.
They had one guy with a suction cup mouth. That guy was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Man at Arms. I always liked Man at Arms a lot.
Man at Arms was pretty rad actually.
Yeah, because you could switch all his arms out, right?
I took off Man at Arms' head, put on a He-Man head, painted it green skin with black hair, and that was my Hulk figure. Yeah, true story. Yeah, I used to take apart G.I. Joe and like switch all their heads out. I used to do it with
G.I. Joe a lot.
I took the Secret Wars Wolverine.
I had that.
Chopped his head off. Took sandpaper, sanded down forever a G.I. Joe head till I got just the nub and glued it inside the Wolverine head and put it on a big muscular G.I. Joe body and took like pins, straight pins, and duct taped them on his hands and made a Wolverine.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I had a
Psycho Child.
I had the Secret Wars Daredevil also.
Yeah, that was cool. Secret Wars Kang was pretty badass. That was like
I never had that one.
Yeah, they had some pretty badass.
I had Secret Wars Doc Ock.
Doc Ock, Secret Wars Doc Ock was awesome.
Yeah,
I think they had a black Spider-Man too. I think that was the only black suit Spider-Man figure.
Yeah, they did. They
made for a long time.
Where it came from, Secret Wars. If it wasn't for Secret Wars, there wouldn't be no black Spider-Man.
I thought Black Spider-Man was the alien suit was my favorite. I thought that was legit.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Straight up.
So I think we agree He-Man over...
Later on, I became G.I. Joe, and truth be told, I'm sure it's going to be a surprise to no one, I played G.I. Joe for way too long into my early teens.
Early 20s.
I was like one of those dudes that didn't really have a girlfriend, drew comic book characters, and played G.I. Joe for too long.
Like, G.I. Joe was cool, but, like, and the only thing, like, to me, like... I mean, there was a lot of things, but like to me, Destro was a much cooler villain than Cobra.
Destro was way pimp. Zartan and Destro, why weren't they running shit?
Zartan was the best.
That goes back to Cobra. And he's like, "Ow, Joe!"
Yeah, Clint does the best.
Shit.
Cobra Commander.
Like, Destro, you bubbling buffoon! Yeah,
Baroness was pretty hot.
Do you remember the G.I. Joe movie though when they showed his face?
Yeah, but I don't remember what it looked like.
I don't remember either, but I remember being like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, how dare you?
It's like a 3-second. Oh, I gotta.
I never played where they were G.I. Joe though. I played like they were like drug dealers and like fighting each other, like it was the 80s, so like people were fighting in Nicaragua and stuff like that. So I was like, you can't take over. I mean, I used to watch movies like Live and Die in L.A. where they're like counterfeiters and shit like that. I think it was like Willem Dafoe and somebody else. So I like cut up a bunch of little money and like scotch taped them, and they'd run around like And Tomax and Zaymont, remember those two? Oh yeah. Dude, have you ever like listen to the nobody listens to Zartan or whatever. It's like a YouTube parody thing.
There's one I've never seen that. It's a nobody listens to Zartan.
Yeah, it's like it's a sad song. Zartan's like singing it.
There's a video.
Badass,
there's a I'm gonna look it up when we get done. There's a video.
You'll crack up, dude.
There's a video with Zartan and the Dreadnoughts, and they sing a song called "Cold Slither." With Cold Slither, you'll be joining us soon. It was badass.
That sounds like River Bottom Nightmare.
It is. It is the G.I. Joe equivalent of a band of vipers singing a tune. It's badass. They're like a metal band.
Dude, where did they get GBH to like?
I don't know. We got
write a song.
We got to cover that. That'd be good.
That's pretty awesome.
All right, I got another one.
Next,
chemistry versus physics.
That's for you, dog.
This is for you, dog, because you're a genius, and I'm not in the math department.
Did you know, Curtis, that I was my junior year a academic decathlon bronze medalist in chemistry for the C team. I was the smartest of the dumb people.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
No, that's an accomplishment.
When you're on the C team, the
C team of
75 to 80.
That's not the dumb. Anybody going out for academic decathlon is not the dumb people, dude.
Yeah, man.
I'm a teacher. Trust me.
Yeah.
That's like second place. It's like you're the first loser.
That's right. I was in Act Deck. Actually, all the people thought I was like sandbagging. Like the people on my team, like, what the fuck, man? Because you aced all this shit before. What are you doing?
That pressure, the heat was on.
Yeah,
I would absolutely go physics because physics is the study of the entire natural world, not just chemical reactions. You have to study physics to understand chemistry.
That's right.
Good answer.
But I do not need to know how a car works to drive it. And that's I think, theory and practice of chemistry on a certain level.
Well, it's absolutely, yeah. There's absolutely chemistry in there. But there's also...
No, I mean, it's all physics. But what I mean is the idea of chemistry, it's like I only need to know how to operate the vehicle to get from point A to point B. It's like chemistry without physics.
What physics talk do I? I think they saw a light come from behind a black hole, which they said that light would get sucked in, but they've seen light coming from behind a black hole.
It depends on the black hole,
and and then they said that Einstein was right after all.
And also,
yeah.
I just saw an article yesterday about it.
And also, what kind of light spectrum is it?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? So it's like there's tachyon light. Tachyons can escape the gravity of a black hole.
Tachyons aren't real, Star Trek. That's a start. They're not real.
No, what is it? Not shit. This sounds like tachyon.
Too late, Dustin. C team.
They're the particles that are floating, that are actually traveling backwards in time, theoretically. It is tachyons, right?
Well, that would be, theoretically, maybe. Yes, but they're not real. Depending on what particle you're talking about, all particles can be potentially flowing backwards in time.
But
tachyons are what you're talking about, but they're not.
They're theoretical, like dark matter.
Yes, completely.
Yeah. Got it. I'm also because I'm like, I'm not a physician. I'm like a witch doctor when it comes to physics. I also am like dabble in string theory. So I've had this discussion with Natch. He's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Like he's probably just got that shit from like drafting you in the race. You know what I mean? Right behind you.
They lived together a long time.
but yeah, so my grandpa was a engineer for Lockheed Martin on loan to NASA. So did all the Apollo and Gemini missions, worked on Space Lab, worked on some early, like what kind of became HARP, but it's like over the horizon stuff. So I had all the science journals and all that shit. And I didn't have the high functioning mathematics capability to go into physics, but I loved chemistry. I love the idea of physics.
But you do.
I just don't have the capability.
No, get that shit out of your brain, man. No, I'm a freaking math teacher. Okay.
I hit a wall, and it's part of the reason I dropped out of high school with 1.5 credits left to go to graduate with honors, because I hit a wall at Algebra 2. Maybe I didn't have the right.
Algebra 2 when you were 18 years old, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Okay. Get that crap out of your brain. How'd you get better at music?
I'm like a hyena. I just pretty much chase something until it falls down from exhaustion.
Okay.
I don't have any real skill or ability. Tenacity is my only, like.
So what would you call that in normal human speak? How do you get better at music?
Practice.
Right. How do you get better at sports?
Practice.
How do you get better at drawing?
Practice. Repetition.
That's how you get better at math.
Skill. Ah, gotcha.
Okay? Einstein was wrong with his first mathematical equations, okay? You're literally speaking a different language.
Yeah.
You're learning the language of the universe, bro.
I think we've
good enough at 18 and fucking like that. Yeah.
I think I started with a postulate. Now we have a proof. I'm just lazy.
That fair
I'm
enough.
just lazy.
That's actually the solution to almost all life. Yeah, that's the way it goes.
Well, let's
Not you, but that's like I just don't want to devote that energy there.
I just don't feel like learning. That's kind of how I feel.
Yeah, man.
Let's ask a real question that's been looming in the universe for a long time. Snake Plissken versus Jack Burton?
I knew you'd have an opinion on this one too. It's really hard.
Woo-wee.
Okay.
I'm gonna go just like my knee-jerk reaction is always Jack Burton.
It's all in the reflexes.
Mr. Burton, you're really pissing me off.
I was gonna say, I wish I don't want to keep just jumping on Dustin's boat, but yeah, I was gonna like.
And when I see that coming, I look it right in the eye and I say, the check is in the mail.
If you paid your dues, the check's in the mail.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now I gotta say, I love Jack Burton. I like Jack Burton way more than Snake, but I think Snake would win if they got into a fight.
Oh yeah.
Because Jack Burton is almost just accidentally, with the exception of the end when he catches a knife and throws it right back, says it's all in the reflexes. Everything else is just an accident. He's just bumbling around the whole time.
It's the first action movie in the 80s that made it okay to be not the cool guy in the movie. Like when he shoots that the MP5, or maybe it's even a Tech 9. It might even not even be as cool as an MP5. And then the thing hits him in the head, and he's like, "Oh."
So I would say, like, I would say it's a hard battle, because I haven't seen it. Escape from L.A.
Escape from L.A.
or Escape from New York.
Escape from L.A. has its moments, but Escape from New York is probably the gold standard.
Yeah, So the L.A. I've seen a few times, but I had them all, and then I've sold back and rebought my DVD collection. Mm-hmm. But I definitely own Big Trouble in Little China, and my kids have seen it, and they'll like ask me, "Hey, you know what? We haven't watched Big Trouble in Little China in a while." Like,
so good,
it's
man.
so good.
Like, so I was like, I can't argue. Like
Kim Cattrall in there too.
Oh yeah, and also Raiden.
Right.
Yeah,
Raiden's in that movie.
First appearance.
And when the dude balloons up and explodes, I was like, oh, that's one of those movies they showed on HBO all the stinking time.
I watched it every time.
And I'm like, oh, dude, it's about to happen. The guy's face is going to blow up. So I might be about to go out and play with my friends, but I'm going to wait until the guy's head explodes. And then I go,
It's a kid magnet. Like, it's just perfect. Like,
so good.
And then, like, even at the end, like the sewer monster, the sewer Bigfoot or whatever, like underneath his truck, and it's like, oh my god! Like,
I was gonna say honorable mention for movies to be, against each other on this is like Captain Ron.
Man, I haven't seen that in forever, but I remember it was good.
Pretty damn good. And I like Overboard too. But
Overboard's
then you're
definitely
kind of
good, but it's kind of creepy nowadays. Like,
yeah, it is super creepy. They tried to make it the other way where it's like the girl is the creepy one, but it was still creepy.
Hey, how about this?
What they made us wait? What do you mean they made a sequel?
Yeah, where Anna Faris is like basically the Kurt Russell character and tricks a millionaire dude into thinking that they've been together the whole time and all that stuff. And yeah.
What about, and I heard somebody talking about this the other day, but what about the, I forgot, is it Untamed Heart? Christian Slater, where he's got the baboon heart. He was
Dude,
told.
you and I and Chris used to talk about that all the time.
Yeah, but how about him?
You and I, Chris.
Him watching her sleep. He like sneak into her place and like watch her sleep and stuff. And then she wakes up and he's like, I'm just watching you sleep. And it's like, oh, how romantic. But if somebody woke up now in 2021 and there was a teenage boy watching you sleep, I think it would go a little differently. You know what I mean? It's
unless we don't know it, and that's the new thing kids are doing on TikTok, like watching each other sleep.
Yeah, that's bad.
All that shit was creepy.
Oh, that was man. You remember Pump Up the Volume? That was a good show too.
Yeah,
good,
I bet it doesn't hold up though.
No,
I bet you're like, just get on the internet, dickhead.
All right, I'm gonna start zooming.
Just start a blog, idiot.
We've been on for an hour and 45 minutes, so I'm gonna just fly through these last couple of questions.
Lightning round.
All right. Who is the best 007?
Curtis, you're gonna have to come
Sean
on
Connery.
this one.
Sean Connery. What do you think, Dustin?
Like Sean Connery, I'm not mad at Daniel Craig either, though.
Yeah, and I love Roger Moore. Roger Moore was awesome because I grew up with Roger Moore in the 80s.
You know, the rich kids like had laser discs in my town. I had these really bush league things called CED discs. You like load them in. They're like plastic, look like
They're
album
made
covers.
out of poop, and you put the poop in the thing
for me to poop on, and you put them in there, and they go meow. They spit it back out. I had every single 007. Sean Connery and Roger Moore all the way up to, I think, the first
Do you still
one.
have those?
No, my dad
They're probably worth like $1 million right
They
now.
probably are, but the styluses wore out because it was like a stylus, almost like a record player. It wasn't like how a laser disc worked. It's called a CED disc. Also, my parents didn't know, they bought the big box of these things, that they're a bunch of playboys. You know,
Yeah, buddy.
you know, airbrushed,
and it takes
you know,
away.
where it's like on the corners of the thing, it's like sort of like misty around the lens of like, you know, in a dance studio, and she got more and more like naked.
Oh, foggy, yeah.
As a young man, it was just like Beavis and Butthead. I was just like,
I think Timothy Dalton.
It's super cool.
I think Timothy Dalton got the short end of the stick.
Yeah, he's better in what's it called?
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol.
Which, by the way, Doom Patrol. We got two shows tonight, late night. I'm waiting for it. I just got excited because I looked at the clock. The What If is coming out on Disney Plus tonight. So in a couple of hours, yeah, I think it comes out. I think last time a Disney thing popped up, it was 152. So at 150, I'm going to be starting to refresh my TV over and over. So that being the Marvel fan that you are, I hopefully I just gave you something to look forward to. Also tomorrow, if you watch Titans on HBO Max, the next season of Titans is coming out, which is good. Titans is like Teen Titans. Which has got like it's got Nightwing in it and stuff. It's good. DC.
Hey,
I like that show. I just haven't seen. Or I like the Teen Titans show. I haven't seen Titans yet.
Titans, the first couple seasons are pretty good, solid.
Hey, getting back to the 007 real quick. I wouldn't be mad at Idris Elba if he becomes.
No, I want him to be the next
cool.
007.
Also, in the Marvel What If 007 was a lady.
They could do that.
Yeah, who would make a good 007? As a lady.
I'd say Scarlett Johansson. She's just, suing everybody.
Kate Beckinsale, make her 007.
Ooh, Kate Beckinsale's good. What if they just go like old school and it's just like what's her name from Red? That she's in a bunch of stuff. She's really cool. Older lady.
Oh yeah. I can't think of her name.
They should do Gina from Long Kiss Goodnight.
Oh,
Gina,
dude, yeah, she was good in Long Kiss Goodnight. Gina Davis.
Gina Davis, yeah, baby, bring her back.
Actually, what's
for ass whooping role?
I like Emma Stone a lot, but no,
dude, that would be cool. Who does a really good English accent?
Emma Watson does a pretty good English accent. She's English. And then, but no, I was trying to think, what's her name that's in Jungle Cruise?
Dude,
Emily Blunt. She could do it.
Yeah, she could. Oh God, you'd be sitting there throwing rocks at turtles, and I'd watch it for hours.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's it.
Yeah. All right, here's a conspiracy: aliens versus Bigfoot.
Which do you think is more likely, Curtis?
Okay, so you want me to go first on this one?
Yeah,
go for it.
Okay, Bigfoot
is more likely. I agree. I 100% agree.
I think
Bigfoot is more likely than aliens.
I think Bigfoot. No, I think aliens is more likely.
Now, okay, so that there is life on an alien world. Of course, it's more likely that there is life on some alien world. But the fact that aliens have visited here,
I think so.
I think it's more likely more likely we're living in a simulation than aliens are like influencing things.
To when you understand what it takes to travel interstellarly, it's like ridiculous. I mean, and honestly, for humans to like miss a giant ape, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
And if you watch some of those Bigfoot documentaries, not the TV shows where they're like they just wander around when they're like, "Did you hear that?"
Yeah, totally. That? We ain't gonna go squatching. Yeah, totally.
For 2 hours, but I watched one of the best ones I watched was they were watching that original Zapruder, not Zapruder.
Oh, it's God, I only went
film?
black.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The original one, and it was Stan fucking Winston was like, and he was watching it. And they were doing close ups and stuff, and he was like, you can see muscle movement. He was like, if I could make a suit like this, he was like, I would be like, it'd be amazing. He was like, you can see muscle movement in the legs. He was like, I wish I could do this. Like, that's Stan Winston, fucking special effects master. So to me, Bigfoot, I don't say is real, but like I put more like I think that there's and here's the thing, North America is the only large continent without a great ape.
Yeah, that's true.
That's pretty fucking weird to me too.
And why wouldn't some kind of bipedal thing that was around the same time as Homo erectus come across the Bering Strait? And they know that there was Gigantopithecus in Asia.
Right. And there are Native American mythologies in North America of the Sasquatch that predate anything about any Bigfoot, whatever. So how did they know about a damn Sasquatch before we even knew what a Bigfoot was? And we just figured that out after they were like, well, hey, there's all these big footprints everywhere. Aliens, I do believe that intelligent life exists out there. To visit another planet and just be like, hey, let's fuck with them a little bit and not conquer, I don't get it.
I'm moving to the next one, which is Aliens versus Predator.
I wish he had the drop from Nacho Libre where he's like, I only believe in science.
I believe in science.
I only believe in science.
I wish they had a good... So I wish they had a good version of this movie. Okay, not that I hate him as much as like a lot of people do, because I saw him way after, pretty far after. But like, so Aliens vs Predator 1 is okay to me. Aliens vs Predator 2 is okay to me, but like for such two great franchises, like I wish they had a better.
Seems like a fumble, right? Seems like a bad execution.
And a fumble for an easy play. Like,
What do you think, Curtis? When I was kind of thinking up this question, I was more like, what movie franchise do you lean more towards, Predator or Aliens? I'm an Aliens guy.
Aliens.
I like the idea of like, you know, the Marines, the, you know, colonial Marines rolling out there. You know, there's some basically like a roach infestation, but the roaches can like, you know, saliva can eat through metal and they can eat your face and impregnate you and everything. And
But you're thinking specifically of Aliens.
well, I like Alien too. Like I rediscovered Alien Sigourney Weaver and like space panties the other day. I was like, oh my God, I completely forgot this was in the movie. It's like a slasher flick.
But the first Alien was basically a slasher movie.
Yeah, I loved it. Yep, for that.
Yeah,
a slasher.
It was awesome.
Slasher flick in space. Pretty awesome.
And yeah, that's literally how it was designed. Like, I want to lean, I really, and it must just, to be honest, it's the Arnold lover in me. Like, I want to lean more towards Predator. But they just, like, there's like one good sequel to Predator, in my opinion. Like, and it's Predators with Adrian Brody and
I like that
Trejo.
movie too.
Oh, it was good. I saw it. Yeah.
Like Predator 2's okay and blah, blah, but like Alien at least has several good sequels, you know, like like
Predators is not that long ago, right? I mean, I feel
it's
like
about 10 years now, man.
I feel like I saw it during COVID. Like it must have just been on TV, and I was like, "What is this?"
Probably.
You know? Yeah. Well, let me ask you.
No, you might be thinking of the new one. The new one just came out, The Predator.
Oh, right.
How long ago was that?
This Is Us was in it. Yeah.
Who was in that? Do you remember?
The dude from This Is Us. I
gotta look.
He's also in. He's in the beginning of Black Panther for 5 minutes. He's the guy that sells the vibranium to the Americans, and the dad from T'Challa goes to, you know.
No, I didn't see this one. I got another question for you. All right, The Predator versus Jason.
Jason,
yeah,
all day. Didn't you see Friday the 13th?
Any of them
in space?
Yeah,
Jason
X, baby.
Jason X, man. Yeah,
that's one of the best ones. And
it is.
God, that's true. Now, and that's the thing too. Like, okay, so that's when we were talking about Superman earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where we got to get real.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are we doing science fiction versus magic or not? Because here's the deal. So it shouldn't be like everybody always does Superman versus Thor, or Superman versus Hulk. It should be Superman versus Thor. Thor is Superman or Marvel Superman. But here's the deal. Superman's, we all know kryptonite is his weakness, but his other weakness is magic.
That's right.
And Thor has a magic hammer.
That's right.
Yeah.
So he kicked the shit out of Superman.
Never misses.
Yeah.
Never misses his mark.
But like, and so when you're talking about stuff like that, like it's how are we going to mix it?
Yeah.
What's the recipe?
Incidentally, sidebar, Curtis, have you seen Ragnarok on Netflix? It's like it's made in I think Iceland or something like that.
Not Thor Ragnarok.
No, it's about the actual mythology. It's based on the mythology, but it's not a Marvel or comic book based.
But it's based in like modern times.
No.
And the kid basically becomes Thor. Like the witch and Odin are there, and they kind of like anoint him, and he has to go.
There's overdubs to make it English. It's European.
The hammer, and Loki is his brother in it. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, for somebody that's really into Norse, yeah, North mythology. Someone's into Norse mythology. It's pretty good. It's pretty true to
now.
What was that show called based on the Archie that was kind of dark?
Riverdale.
It's like the. It's
I've
like
heard that's good.
It's like
I liked it.
this Ragnarok shows like the European Riverdale,
kind
like
of.
the Icelandic
He's in high school
Riverdale.
trying to deal with his new powers.
We will do like Archie.
Yeah.
We will make Riverdale. Yes, this is our Riverdale.
They like have a scene where they're like dancing like European, like now we have dance party.
You know, and then they act like normal in class, and then they get in a fight out in the hall and stuff. Yeah.
Now, Dustin.
Yep.
Just to show how well you know me, from what you just said, we talked about children earlier, and you got a kid named Theodore.
Yep.
If I have another son, if it's a boy, I want to name him Theodore. Now, part of the reason that name, I found out I'm related to Theodore Roosevelt.
Awesome.
I'm a big genealogy buff. But also, a short version for Theodore would be Thor.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That is good.
Yeah.
Tell my wife.
That's pretty awesome.
Don't
dude.
until it's in writing. Yeah, until it's on the paper. Like, don't say
His
anything.
name's Theodore, but we call him Thor.
Yeah. Thor. That's pretty badass,
awesome.
dude.
Yeah,
Just
that's pretty
for
good.
Theodore. What?
Yeah. Yeah. Teddy
That's awesome.
Roosevelt's pretty awesome.
Oh man! If you haven't read up on Teddy Roosevelt, he's the baddest motherfucker.
Yeah, he's pretty
who's
cool.
ever held that office.
He puts a conserve in conservative.
Yeah,
He's
He went blind
legit-
in one eye
crazy.
in a boxing match with the champion while president.
Wow.
He broke a rib wrestling the New York State wrestling champ while governor of New York. He got, whenever he was running for president again in the Progressive Party, he got shot in the chest.
Yep.
Spoke for an hour and a half
After he got shot.
Yeah.
after being shot in the chest. And then was like, I should go to the hospital.
Yeah.
And like was bleeding out of his chest.
Yeah. I think it was a through and through. I think he knew it.
Wow.
He'd been in the military. He was in the Spanish American War. He was in the Cuba Libre. He liberated Cuba.
The Texas Rough Riders started in San Antonio.
He knew it was a through and through, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking keep talking through this shit. And he had a pet hyena.
Crazy.
There's a
His
hyena at
horse
the
was
White
named
House.
Texas. He was the baddest son of a bitch to ever. Boy, he was so bad.
And I couldn't think of a more proper name for your kid.
Thor.
A badass son of a bitch. Theodore Becker. It looks like we're starting to get a lag, or I'm starting to lose you, man.
It'll
There you are.
catch up.
I got you back. And honestly, we're out of topics, and we've been on for 2 hours and 6 minutes. So I think we did pretty good for a first versus.
We did it. We landed on the moon.
We don't have any we don't have any this was an experiment, guys. So I hope you liked it. If you did, leave something in the comments. Tell us what you liked, what you didn't like. Let us know. We're learning here. We're trying to we want to make the best show we can, and most of all, we just wanted to be fun, and I had a great time. And guys, thank you guys for coming on tonight. But before we bail, I want to say again, guys, if you want to help out the channel, take a second to share this with your friends on social media. Click the notification bell so we can let you know about future videos and live streams. Bam, and now we're back. So, Curtis, you don't have to hang up quite yet. I'm going to since we're out of topics, I'm going to cut it short, and we can keep talking. And everybody at home, thanks again for watching. Love you guys. We will see you soon. Thank you for tuning in to the first episode of Versus.